Tom Brady is widely regarded as the greatest football player to ever live. With 7 Super Bowl rings, 3 league MVPs, and 5 Super Bowl MVPs, one would be hard-pressed to call him anything but the greatest of all time. But let me ask you, if you were to list the strongest and fastest players in NFL history, would Brady make your list? When you look at the scouting report on Tom Brady from the 2000 draft, it would be hard to imagine that he would find any success in the NFL. Scouts mentioned that he lacked mobility, didn't have a strong arm, and even the video of him training shows nothing impressive. Brady was so disregarded that he was actually drafted 199th overall. Here's a guy who would ultimately become one of the greatest of all time, and yet every NFL team passed on him. In fact, 6 quarterbacks were drafted before him. But here's the thing that matters. While most scouts were looking for the strongest and fastest players, Brady clearly did not have those abilities, but he possessed traits that were often overlooked and in fact were more important. For instance, he was known as a great leader who could get the most out of his teammates. In addition, he had a solid mindset that allowed him to persevere even when his team was down 28-3 to the Atlanta Falcons in Super Bowl 51. While most would not be able to handle this pressure, Brady thrived in this situation. His commitment to the game did not stop when he walked off the field. He even embraced a specialized diet to make sure his body could handle the difficulties of an NFL season. What I'm getting at here is that the traits that made Brady successful were not the ones most NFL scouts were looking for. The same thing goes for trading. Most people think if I could only find out what to buy, I'd be rich. They turn on CNBC or sign up for a newsletter, all in hopes of finding some quick money. Eventually, they go a little further and begin to look for entry criteria in hopes that they will be able to perfectly time the market. They go through all sorts of indicators. They scour through charts, all in hopes of finding a crystal ball that will help them to predict each and every market turn. In time, they realize this is a fruitless search. Most move on to some other field, such as real estate, start an online business, or simply just resign to placing their money in a bank account. But some go further, and eventually they find what really matters in trading. Just like the NFL scouts didn't understand how to evaluate Brady, very few traders realize what separates those who are profitable from those that are unprofitable. First and foremost is risk management. You always have to have a plan for what can go wrong. Remember, a 10% loss requires an 11% gain just to get back to break even. But a 50% loss requires a double just to get back to where you started. Having a plan to manage your risk should be the foundation of your trading. While overlooked by most, this is what will allow you to survive the market for an extended period of time. See, most traders want to be right. They want to know what to buy and when to buy it. That's not me. I want to risk right. I want to set up my trading in a way so that I can sleep at night. I want to set up my trading so that I can survive catastrophe after catastrophe. I want to set up my trading in a way so that the math is in my favor. Second, knowing when not to trade is often more important than knowing when to trade. While the amateur looks for exciting indicators, the professional looks to trade less, knowing that patience and discipline are far more important than that shiny new indicator everyone is talking about. The truth is, many people can make money in a bull market, but very few of them can keep it during bear markets and corrections. This is where having the discipline and patience to wait for the fat pitch will separate the winning traders from the losing ones. Third, most people overlook the importance of psychology in trading. An emotional trader is a losing trader. While the amateur lets their fear or greed dictate their decisions, a winning trader lets his rules and system determine his course of action. At a deeper level, some traders self-sabotage themselves. Maybe they had low self-esteem growing up, or maybe they fear people won't like them if they make a lot of money. While all this seems very far-fetched, I've seen it happen in real time. It was a very true statement indeed when Ed Seykota remarked, "Win or lose, everybody gets what they want out of the market." Fourth, selling rules are far more important than buying rules. A trader must not only have a plan for cutting losses, but also for locking in his gains. A good rule of thumb is to keep your winners at multiples of your risk. That is, if you risk $5 on a trade, you want to look to have your winner be 2 to 3 times your risk, or $10 to $15. This will allow you to be wrong many times and still come out ahead. In addition, you need to also have an understanding of how to lock in gains before they disappear. This can mean selling into strength, but it also can mean selling on the loss of a key support area or moving average. While beginners just plan to buy and hold and foolishly believe their stock will go up forever, the winning trader understands this is a fantasy and knows that trade management is what will allow you to keep your drawdowns in check. Finally, adapting to general market conditions is actually more important than predicting where the market will go. Just as generals lose battles by fighting the last war, traders fail by trading the last market. For example, holding stocks for extended periods of time yielded huge gains in 2020. However, buying and holding these same stocks in 2021 led to ruin. Just look at what happened to Peloton, Zoom, Zscaler, Crowd, and ARK. Rather than being rigid, learn to listen and adapt to the market. As Jesse Livermore stated, markets are never wrong. Opinions often are. The next time you enter a trade, make sure you focus on these areas we discussed today. While often overlooked, they are just as important as those traits that Skinny Kid had back when he was drafted 199th.